So here are some kind of a bit of like a cheat sheet of common cues when it comes to consent, okay, and not okay. Okay, consent is a term that just means permission to continue. Okay, so what can consent sound like? When someone says yes, when someone says, yeah, I'm very sure, I'm sure, I know, I'm excited, don't stop. But when someone doesn't want to do something, they will say, no, I'm not sure, I don't know, stop. Okay, even they say very softly, it is still no. Okay, and silence is actually a very big no. Silence is no. Would you want to go to movies? No answer. No answer means no. Okay, I know it's very annoying. Why can't the person just say no? Why can't the person just say no? Okay, some people have difficulty saying no. So don't torture yourself. Just assume it's a no. Just assume it's a no and move on to the next person. Okay, or no more. No more is also no. Okay, some more consent, yes and no. I want to, I'm not worried, not worried. I want you, I want it, I want that, I really like this. Can you please, I still want to, don't stop, it feels good. Yes, please, all these things are positive. They are positive cues. The person is probably smiling. Okay, when no, don't do, don't continue. I want to, but, whenever they say but, wait for the answer. Okay, I feel worried about, I don't want you, I don't want it, I don't want that. Can you please not do, I thought I wanted. Okay, it's okay for people to change their mind. They start and then they change their mind. Oh, that hurts. Okay, when someone is in pain, you don't want to cause more pain, you stop. Okay, so you see silence is another one because we put that all over the place because it's very, very common. Maybe. When someone says maybe, they are not happy about it, they are not enthusiastic, it's important to stop. Okay, whatever you're doing, whether it's holding hands or kissing the person, you need to respect what they are feeling. You don't want them to get hurt, so stop. Okay, and more. So somebody will maybe like give praise, somebody will say it feels good, yes. Another person will not praise and say it feels wrong, I feel bad. Okay, silence is a big one. Okay, so when it comes to dating and when it comes to sex, it is very important. It's very, very important. It's very, very simple. If anything doesn't feel good, if you don't feel safe, if you feel scared, if you feel bad, don't continue. Don't continue to see this person. Okay, nowadays, it's actually quite easy to block the person. You can block the person on WhatsApp. You can block the person on Facebook. Okay, anybody who is remotely rude to you, just block the person. That's it. You do not, life is short. You do not need to have mean people in your life. Okay, regardless of your abilities, it is not okay for anybody to shame you, bully you, to stare at you, to make you feel bad, to be controlling of you. No, you need to love yourself so that other people can love you. And loving yourself includes standing up for yourself. It includes not putting up with bullying. It includes, okay, not being with people who are mean. So the moment they are mean, actually this is a sign that this is not the person you want in your life. Okay, so what if your family bullies you? Okay, so now I'm coming to talk about this. So this is when you need to speak up, you see. And it's very heartache one with your family. I grew up feeling that I cannot talk to my mom, and I actually lost out on my power. So when we don't speak up as children, but now we are not children anymore, we are adults. When we still don't speak up as adults because it's a habit, our parents will continue to treat us the way that they treated us. But when we start to behave differently, we are taking back our power as children. So learning how to speak yes and no is really important. So some of the parents that I've worked with, they will say that now that their children have reached puberty, their children is very difficult, it's not obedient. But the thing is, people change, people evolve. And now you are grown up, you have your own desires, your own taste in food, your own desires. It's important to speak up for yourself, so that if you don't speak up, then who is going to speak up for you? So you have to speak up for yourself. So one of the ways I have learned to assert myself in life, okay, is I practice with small things first. Then I was able to find my voice to speak up during my dates. So I learned to speak up when I'm not happy with certain behavior. Let's say, for instance, when I'm in the restaurant and they send a different food, the older me will just accept the food, the wrong food, the bad food. I will never send food back to the kitchen, you know. However, when I learn to tell myself, you know what, I deserve to be happy, I'm paying money, I deserve to have good service, I deserve to have the right food sent to me at the restaurant, I need to practice sending food back to the restaurant. So that was how I slowly learned how to assert myself. So there's a difference between being passive aggressive, right? Bang table and chair because you're not happy, instead of telling your parents what's wrong. There's a difference between passive aggressive. There's a difference between assertive and the difference between aggressive. We want to learn how to be assertive. We want to learn to speak up without getting into the mama drama. Okay. Okay, sometimes it will go physical when you are your new self, or they will blame your cognitive condition. This is very, very annoying, Jeeve, isn't it? This is very annoying when your parents will just find excuses for you. And in reality, that is not acceptable. So you have to find different ways to communicate to your parents because they don't respect you. You need to find the respect within yourself. And the hardest relationship in a lot of cases is the one that we have with our parents. Okay, body language. So learn how to read people's body cues if you're not good at it. Okay, can you tell when a person is happy, sad, mad, glad? Can you see? I love to read people's body language because I'm a counselor, right? I love working with humans to look for congruence. The words and the face is the same thing. I love to guess what they're going to say next. So I play this kind of game to sharpen my skills. And I don't do this because I'm doing this to sharpen my skills. I'm doing it because I'm naturally interested in it. I will do it anyway. This is my hobby. This is my free time. But if you're not good at it, there are actually a lot of shows online that you can actually watch. A lot of like people going on date. They call it like speed dating. And then you see, oh, this guy, why they like this girl or things like that. It's very, very interesting one for me. So if you're not good at it, you want to be better at picking up cues. One of the ways is, yes, I'm not dating now. I'm not dating anybody. I don't know anybody. You can start to practice fine-tuning your skills by reading other people's body language. How? Because those people already record their video, right? They are already on a date. You see how they behave. You get some ideas. You get some ideas of how people behave on dates. You can just watch these videos. Okay, how do I get out of a bad first date? Bad first date. Okay, you have a friend on standby. You can have a friend waiting nearby. And then you can give your friend a signal, like a hand gesture or body language gesture, whatever it is. Stroke your chin. When I stroke my chin, you must come over and rescue me from this date. You can have a friend like that. That would be a good friend. You can find a natural stopping point and say, maybe when they finish their coffee, then you can say, I'm sorry, but I think I need to go. You can say something like that. You can use work as an excuse and say, oh, I just got a message from my company, you know. And you can easily say that because you can also put your phone on silent, right? And then at any point you can pick up your phone and say, oh yeah, I have a message from my company. You don't have to show them. And that's one way you can get out of your date. You can say, I'm sorry, I need to go. Or you can be just very honest and very direct, like Mata, and say something like, because this actually happened to me before. I didn't say this, but somebody said this to me because that day I was in a bad mood. So that person said this to me. I'm not enjoying myself. I think I'm going to go off. So you can say this, okay? So some tips about listening and speaking. So as the listener, we know this, right? Pay full attention. Okay, make eye contact if you can. Okay, if you lean forward a bit, you look like you're interested. Be supportive, don't interrupt. Use non-verbal skills. Non-verbal, that means no mouth moving. You can nod your head. Don't nod your head too much. You make your face more like interested. You know, if they look sad, you look sad. You mirror them. You can use pause fillers like yes, I see. Right, continue. Okay, and you can ask natural questions to keep the conversation going. Like anything that you're not sure, you can ask to like, you know, support them to get the story out of them. You can figure out the feelings. Okay, how to figure out? Guess or ask. Oh, you look very upset about it. Okay, so this is your observation, and you are reflecting it back to them, so that they can get back to you whether it's true what they're feeling. And then you can also ask for feedback. So did I get it right? Is that what you meant? You can ask for feedback. You can paraphrase. Paraphrase means that they said something, and then you just use your own words to repeat back what they said. So as a speaker, okay, you want to be as clear as possible to avoid any misunderstandings. Okay, say how you feel. Even when you're on a date, say how you feel. Because if the person is going to be negative and show their true colors, so what? At least you be real and authentic to yourself. Make I statements. I felt this, I felt very lonely, you know, versus blaming someone. Oh, you don't want to spend time with me, versus I felt lonely. So it's owning the way you feel. Okay, using I statements, starting with I. You see, when the moment you start off a sentence with you, it always comes across as blaming. Okay, so try to use I statements. So just now I talked about being assertive. So you are firm, but you are not rude. You are firm, but you are not loud. So this is what we call like acceptable adult behavior. So if possible, you can give a simple explanation to why they're asking. Okay, I don't want to have unprotected sex because I want us to get tested. So it is important to give a simple reason why, if you want to say why. And you don't have to apologize for what you're saying. And you can practice this. You can rehearse this. You can practice this. You can write this on a piece of paper, and you can practice this. And actually, I also encourage my clients to write down what they want to say, you know, especially when they have a sensitive topic. You can write down, you can prepare your script, and then you can say something like, I have something important to tell you. It's so important that I really want to make sure that I say it correctly. So I've written it down. Do you mind if I take out my paper and I refer to my paper? You can do that, because actually by showing to your friend or to your partner that you have prepared your speech, that you have certain things that you want to make sure that you say, you don't want to miss out anything, it is actually a form of respect. It's a form of respect. Okay. Point 2 is a must. It's important to do a self-reflection, like, oh, actually, could I have said it better? So it's good to have that kind of self-awareness, because we are all evolving, right? We are not perfect. So as much as you want to be yourself and speak your truth, some people may not accept you the way you are, because, you know, like Martha is also very honest and very direct. So I have learned to tone down. I have learned to not be so expressive, because there's a difference between assertive and passionate. So I have learned to speak in more adult way, which means like with a straight face. Yeah. So at time, yes, it's important to reflect on how can we do better the next time. And a lot of times you reflect on yourself. How can I do better? How can I do better? How can I do better? And a lot of times it's not you, it's them. They cannot accept it. Their skin is too thin. You know, they are very sensitive. Okay, so what else can we do as a speaker? Point number 5. Focus on observations rather than interferences or judgment. Focus on what you saw. Okay, so it's okay to say, I saw this, okay, but don't assume things. Okay, something like, don't say, oh, you don't really care how I feel. How do you know for sure they don't care? So you can say, you can give evidence. You can say, this is the evidence because this is your observation, versus you are judging them. There's a difference. So focus on the facts. I saw this is what you did, this is what happened, versus you are doing this because you are like this. No, don't assume this. Okay, don't assume. This is already going into too much of the second guessing and psychic reading, right? So keep saying what you want to say over and over. Maybe it will help your partner to understand. If you say something and they keep ignoring you, okay, like I told you I need to be back by 11. I already said this when I first came in, you know. So you may need to remind them. I already said this 3 times. I am not ready to have sex today. So you need to say this again. You may need to say this again and again, because some people just choose not to listen. Some people genuinely didn't listen. Some people just keep ignoring you, dismiss you, and that's not appropriate. Okay, so if needed, you may need to repeat yourself again and again. Okay, that's part of being a confident adult person. I know some of the things that I'm mentioning, like speaking up for yourself, saying no, can be very difficult, especially to women, unfortunately. However, we need to practice and get better at it, because we need to take care of us. Okay, so you can offer ideas, alternatives. I'm not ready to do this, but I'm ready to do something else. What do you think? So you can alter other options, like I don't want to eat Japanese. Can we eat Korean instead? Things like that. Warning signs. So I felt it was very important to talk about this, because if we don't have a lot of experience in relationships, we can get hurt. We can find ourselves in a dangerous or illegal situation or criminal cases. Okay, so it's really important that you, besides knowing what to do, you also need to know what not to do, and also not continue the relationship if it's becoming very, very bad. Like, for instance, the person is hitting you, the person is saying mean things about you to break you down, calling you ugly, lazy, fat, okay? And not say one time, say many, many, many times. If somebody keep telling you this many, 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 many times, okay, it will definitely affect you psychologically. It will affect you mentally. It will affect your confidence. Okay, when you say you want help, when you say you want some care, you want to talk to them on the phone, and they just don't care about you, this is a sign that they actually are very selfish. And they try to control you. Don't wear this, only wear this. You are so ugly, you only look good in this, keep your hair long. They try to control you like this, and that is also not good. When they take your money, okay, money is a very sensitive subject, but it's actually true, because it is a sign of abuse when they take the money and don't care about you. Bullying you through social media and text messages, okay, texting you obsessively, okay, saying mean things to you, but not in face, but it's easier to be mean, right, when you don't see the person. Contacting you when you tell them you don't want to, and you have told them to stop, okay, you told them to stop contacting, and they still do anything that they want to do as well. Yes, it applies to friends as well. Doing sexual things to you when you do not give consent. Yes. Okay, so one of the signs of a relationship, I want to tell you, because I'm a woman, right? So I always am very careful of men. Right? I have bad experiences in relationships, so I learn to be careful. Okay, so abuse can happen in all relationships, with your family, with your friends, with the people you are dating. Okay, so abuse is abuse, but we need to be more savvy, because a lot of us don't know what is abuse. So these are some signs of abuse. Okay, so at some point we want to ask ourselves, what is our real truth? So when you can love and accept yourself, you're more likely to be able to find a healthy relationship. And that is what I'm also concerned about, because I don't want you all to end up in an unhealthy, abusive relationship.